I would bring cash so you don't become broke in one night.
Sometimes I don't want to admit it, like sometimes it would be like a trip to the mall and you buy like a pair of American Eagle jeans and spend like $130 and you're just like, yeah, I don't need to eat this week. It's fine. Like I have crackers, I have pasta. It's fine. Yeah, yeah, like just go to the dollar store, pick up like some boxes of Kraft Dinner. You're good. You can get that pair of jeans.
Exactly. A student life is different from a normal life. You can't expect to have the same life as a person who has a full-time job. So you need to consider something. I don't want to say to be stingy, but that's how it works. That's student life.
Money management is a great skill to have, and the first step on tackling this perplexing art of financial affairs is understanding how and what you spend. University gives us a great opportunity to practice how to handle all aspects of your finances, since our income and expenses are relatively straightforward. However, you may be surprised to know that most university students and most adults have no system of managing their money or even know what their spendings are. Some of the many reasons are that it's not taught in school or by parents, and money has become this taboo thing in our society where we don't really like talking about. You may know roughly what your spendings are, but have you ever wondered, in comparison of your spendings versus how other people's spendings are like? And whether your spendings are justifiable, like, am I spending too much? Or am I actually a pretty cheap person? There's little information out there on what you should spend under each category because the truth is everyone's different and what we prioritize are not identical either. However, I am still really curious. Aren't you? So in today's video, we've invited a few SMU students to give us a rough estimate of what they spend on tuition, textbooks and school supplies, housing cost, transportation, food, and more. They each come from different living backgrounds, meaning that some of them are Canadian undergrads, international undergrads, graduate students living on or off campus or at home. I hope this can give you insight into different tuition, living costs, and transportation costs each one of them have. Let's introduce these students.
My name is Grant, and I am entering my third year at St. Mary's University, studying environmental studies. For most of my life, I have lived in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, so not that far from SMU. And in my first year, I lived in Vanier, but I am happy to be a SMU pack leader for the summer and in Norway in September. So that's a little bit about myself.
I'm a Canadian student. For my first year, I was living on campus the whole time throughout the whole pandemic. I am pursuing a double major in human resource management and industrial relations, as well as finance. Absolutely love volunteering, being fairly social and getting out and being with my friends and family and yeah, exploring.
My name is Ali. I'm an international student, so I'm originally from Iran. Right now, I live off campus. I came here in Canada like 6-7 months ago, and currently doing my MBA at SMU School of Business.
I am an environmental student taking 10 classes, 5 per semester. And during my first year, my tuition was $9,331.50. My tuition balance just varied because I had an economics course, which costs, $900, and then a politics course that costs $790.
So for the fall, I took 4 courses, 3 business ones and 1 arts course. It cost me $3,595.
Right now, it's like a spring summer semester, so it's not considered a normal semester for me. Right now, I'm taking 3 courses. It was like $6,000. And so it's divided by 3. It's going to be something like 2,000 per month. Yeah, but normally in fall and winter semesters, our tuition is $12,000. So divided by 4, it's going to be something like 3,000 monthly.
I mean, honestly, I don't spend much on textbooks. I maybe buy 2 textbooks a semester, which isn't bad at all. So that's maybe 200 a semester, which is not as bad as I thought going into university. Some advice, a lot of people just don't really know if they should buy a textbook or not. Like, how do you do it? But I think it's very important to wait for your first week of classes. It may say on the syllabus, but you may actually never use it. So I tend to wait a week or 2. Also, SMU has a buy and sell Facebook page. So that's a really good tool to use. You know, university isn't cheap and want any way they can to get the money back. I guess I'll just add something on this year. For like online school, and you have ebooks. So ebooks expire after the semester is done. So you can't buy and sell anything. I guess the good news is that it is cheaper than hard-covered books or physical copies.
I couldn't find like an exact number of what I paid. I'm just averaging it at like close to $800. Some of the textbooks for business, and I think the same's for science, you have to buy like access to a certain application like Pearson, like another one was Top Hat, and each one of those is like $100.
My first semester, I think I paid for most of my textbooks for full price. For the second semester, I bought all of them secondhand, and it was so cheap. Like each textbook, it was originally like $120. You can get it for 60, 40 if you bargain.
With COVID, all my professors were like, no, we're not using a textbook. It's this online application or this online textbook that you can't go out and buy a secondhand version of. You have to buy the full price online textbook. And it's only a subscription. You only get it for like 12 months, 6 months. It's not like if you buy a physical textbook, you can resell it afterwards to someone else who needs it. There's not that. It's here's your code.
That's something interesting because, for example, this semester, I didn't pay anything for the textbook, but we didn't have any specific textbook. It's kind of usually provided by professors, and they tend to teach based on the content they develop themselves. But normally, it's something around 100 to 150 per semester. That's how it works for MBA students.
Okay, let's talk about housing then. How much does housing cost for you?
Yeah, so in my first year, I lived in a double room in Vanya D house, and that cost me $1,859.34 per semester. But that is not counting food or supplies. That's just the dorm room itself. Some students do bring in, a microwave or a mini fridge or decorations. I didn't do any of that stuff. Obviously, for the students, it's up to you to bring like the hygiene products, the towels, and the necessities. So I guess when you add all that up, that's what your housing cost would be.
When I lived on campus, they put me in a senior single apartment. I was completely shocked because I was told those were reserved for like 4th-year students, mature students. Me a first year, they're just like, you go. But the rooms were actually a lot bigger. Like I brought a recliner chair in to my room. And it wasn't even like a super single. It was just a regular one. And I had space for a recliner chair.
Okay, they were being really gracious to you.
Yeah. So for both semesters, for the fall and winter semester, it cost me $7,670. It was awesome. I did enjoy it.
I'm off campus. I spend $700 per month for my rent. There are actually 4 rooms in my apartment, so we share with other roommates. And listen to me, like if anybody says like you can't find an apartment or something, a room or whatever in Halifax less than 1,000, keep looking. I'm sure you'll find something.
So when I lived in residence, I did the Freedom Plan Pack, and that cost me $1,499.82 per semester, so over $2,000. Luckily for me, my parents were nice enough to drive sometimes to the grocery store for me, so I didn't really have to worry about that. However, for floor events, my floor mates would, have movie nights, snack. It was a fun time before COVID, That probably $25 per meal.
I had two different variations of the meal plan. I had planned on getting like the freedom meal plan. So just to go down to meal hall however many times a day I wanted to, but they removed that option because of COVID. So they changed it to the 14 freedom meal plan. So I had that one in the beginning. So for one semester, that cost me $2,369. And then for the fall semester, I think I spent like another close to $400 on food. And that was groceries as well as food delivery services. The second semester, I got this 7 meals per week, and that cost $1,651. But with both meal plans, you got flex dollars that you could use on late night dining. And that would be, again, just like you can order burgers, pizza, garlic fingers, like things like that between the hours of 9 and 3 a.m.
It's kind of like a credit card. No, not credit card, like a debit card.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to use it because they won't refund you the money. So
No, exactly. Yeah. So might as well use it up.
I do cook. That's just one of the strategies that you can save money and you can maintain the healthy diet. For food and groceries and whatever, so it's something like 70 to 100 per week. So times 4, it's something around like $350 per month. Again, it could be different from person to person, but that's how it works for me.
The only transportation cost I would have would be the U-Pass, which is a Metro Transit pass to get onto Metro, and that cost me $160. The nice thing about SMU is it's right in downtown. It's 5-10 minute bus ride. So by the time the school year is done, you're gonna get your money's worth using a bus pass. On another note, I think it's also important to mention SMU does have Husky Patrol. It's a free service that SMU provides that gives SMU students rides across Halifax. If you're ever alone at night and you want a free lift home, it's a good resource to use.
yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I didn't even think about it.
I got the SMUSA bus pass. So for the 2 semesters, it was $164.50.
But it's interesting, I pay zero for transportation. Thanks to our U-Pass at SMU, I use the bus system and I can go wherever I want. These little things can save you a lot of money in the long run.
SMU gives out so many scholarships that go unclaimed. Like it may seem like $100 or $1,000. Like it may not seem much. But that's like a half of a course already paid for you. In my first year, I applied for the SMU Resident Engagement Award, that $1,000 that they give out to 10 resident students for going to residence events and engagement, and I got it, right? But it's $1,000 that I didn't have to pay for, that the school just gave to you. So I always recommend applying to some of these awards and events. University isn't cheap, but I find a lot of people have a hard time saving money. When restaurants and pubs do open up and you want to go dance and party at the Dome, I would bring cash so you don't become broke in one night. Like as much as cards are important, it's very easy to get yourself carried away when you have a card compared to cash. If you have cash, at least you have a limit to how much you spend. So you almost have that awareness of what you have and what you do not have.
Honestly, like the biggest thing that I spent money on was the food delivery services, like DoorDash, Uber Eats, because when you're studying late at night or when you're just hanging out with friends late at night, midnight, 2 a.m., you're like, okay, I'm hungry. I want food. I got cheesecake delivered to me at 3 a.m. It was so bad, like good. Loved it in the moment, but it's so bad because like the delivery fees are expensive. And yeah, so many times like one piece of cheesecake cost me like $17. Yeah, don't make it your primary food source. Get a mini fridge, get some type of fridge, go to the grocery store. I want to say like utilize Dockside in your meal plans because they did make it like mandatory. But it, like I said before, like a lot of the time it would be the same meals repeated on a cycle over like 2 weeks. You just get tired of it.
So if you want those American jeans, go to Dockside.
Exactly. If you want those American Eagle jeans, just eat at Dockside for the full month.
Let's do that.
Like peer pressure. Like there's always peer pressure to go out downtown, to go to restaurants, to try a new restaurant every week or a new bar every week. And it's just knowing how much money you have and what's feasible for you. And if you can't afford to go to a restaurant every week, then just being able to actually say, you know what, like guys, friends, like I can't today. It's not really in the cards for me. But I think that's one of the biggest things is everyone's like, let's go drinking, let's go downtown, let's go try this. And in the first month, it seems fun. But then once you get to like November, December, you're like, okay, I spent a lot of money on things I didn't need to spend money on.
People actually respect you when you tell them that, hey, it's not for me today.
The first thing I have written here is just to track your expenses. When you track your expenses and you keep record of that, when you write them down, then it helps you to live within budget and you just don't go over that. And yeah, you might say, no, why should I write things down when my bank does it for me? But no, you have to keep track of your own records. You just write on the paper every night. It helps you a lot. Believe me, it helps a lot.
I remember doing that during my first year and it really helped. And I wrote it all down because I found that when I write it down, I actually know that I'm spending that much and it's tiring when I have to write a long list down. So I buy less.
Yeah.
It's just like,
yeah, that's exactly what happens. When you just use your Visa card or credit card, it goes to your bank statement and you don't see it. At the end of the day, when you look at, oh my God, I spent like, I don't know, $50 for my drinks. I could avoid that. That's an extra expense. So it's based on reflection. You think what you can avoid next, and once you develop this habit, you'll end up saving a lot of money at the end of the day. The other thing is like to take full advantage of the free services that the university offers. One of them being the UPass. The other free facility that we can take advantage of is the SMU Gym, Hamburg Center. These are some of the facilities that university provides and they're for free. And many of the students even don't bother think like, because it's free, it should be like with low quality or something, but it's not. Superstore offers a 10% discount on Tuesdays. You should know these things. Yeah, it's pretty much easier to go to convenience store and have your groceries there. But in the long run, you can save a considerable amount of money. The other suggestion would be to cook for yourself. You need to learn that. Yeah, that would be my last suggestion. Cook, learn to cook. Yeah, it's healthier and also cheaper.
These are just some major costs for students here at SMU. Be aware that there are variations in spendings and what one needs. For instance, if your laptop suddenly breaks down, that's $1,000. Cost of furniture, plane ticket for flying back home, medical costs, and more. Though I'm not a master on money management, I'll say start by understanding your finances. You can use an app to log your spendings and organize them into categories, or you can write it down in a notebook. The point is to start by understanding your finances. If you're interested in this topic of student budgeting, Amon wrote an article about it. It will be linked in the description down below. As always, comment your thoughts of this video down below, or if you have any thoughts or ideas on money management, please comment down below. I know I'll certainly appreciate it, and I'll see you next month. Take care.